Hello and a warm welcome to New Central Studios. I am Felicity Ezewuike. We begin in West Africa, where Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, together with his counterparts from Ghana, Togo, Senegal, Niger and Chad, have commissioned the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals, the world's largest single-train refinery in Ibeju-Lekki, Lagos State, in the country's southwest. Dangote's Petroleum Refinery is planned to cover the needs of Nigerian consumers as well as those of neighboring countries, while also enabling exports outside of the African continent. The refinery will help to promote the African Continental Free Trade Area, as over 50 countries in the trading bloc rely on imported refined petroleum products. The startup of the massive project is intended to signal Nigeria's departure from the League of Oil-Rich Nations that has significant importance of petroleum products. Joining me on the news to discuss this is an energy consultant, Seun Dania. Thank you very much for giving us your time. What are the immediate and long-term benefits of this refinery to Nigeria and Nigerians?
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. First and foremost, this is very fantastic for the entire Nigeria. So the immediate benefits that we will have is, since first production will probably start in July, as announced by the chairman of the Dangote Group, we should say congratulations to ourselves as Nigeria, because the first thing is that we'll be celebrating is no more scarcity of petroleum products. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Yes, so no more scarcity of petroleum products because of we'll know that most of the scarcity that we'll be experiencing in Nigeria has been due to, issues with access to FX and importation. So yeah, so some of the immediate benefits will have reduced import dependency. Will no longer be depending on importation. The refinery is going to be has a capacity of refining 650,000 barrels per day, which is well enough over, the current local dependence, of petroleum products by Nigeria. And in turn, I believe over time, we would also start witnessing lower prices of fuel. Maybe not as low as it is right now due to government subsidy, but definitely lower than whatever price it is supposed to get to when the subsidy is reduced. And of course, by default, we would definitely see a lot of job creation. That has already been happening. A lot of jobs have been created since the beginning of the project. And you can see huge development, in terms of assets, in terms of value of land property around, the Lekki area. We've witnessed a lot of development, even as far as Ekpe and all the neighboring parts in Ogun State. So yes, a lot of work, a lot of jobs we project, and then Nigeria will save a whole lot on foreign exchange. Because right now, if you look at the statistics, a huge chunk of the FX that is being bought in Nigeria is for purchasing petroleum products. It's between, petroleum product traders and whatnot. So we'll save a lot of that because we'll no longer have to be importing. And refineries seem to always, have a huge effect on the industrial sector.
Yeah, talking of the industrial sector, just to expand it, how can the industry sector, the manufacturing sector benefit from the refinery? How can they basically, and how critical is it?
It's a huge refinery. I believe it's the biggest in the world, in terms of, landmass and size, not refining. Well, even the largest single train refinery with the capacity. So with refineries, apart from the oil that is being produced, every, aspect of the refinery, I believe most of them were imported, and, a huge part of it was also fabricated locally. So the local industries will benefit from it because we will create, so let me start from the part of the offsets, the products. There'll be a lot of petrochemicals, a lot of plastics, lubricants that would also be produced by the refinery that would be sold to local refineries. So, local industries. So industries within, the paint, petrochemical sector, plastic sector lubricants would develop, right? In terms of roads, pipeline, power supply, storage facilities, development essentially around that area will come up, and all the local industries will spring up. So a lot of the industries will benefit from the presence of the refinery and the operations of the refinery. On a day-to-day.
Let's look on the flip side. Critics have come down hard on the government's inability to keep its 4 refineries working. Is the coming on stream of the Dangote refinery a pointer to the direction to go in improving and consolidating Nigeria's refining capabilities?
I think it would have been fantastic if it was a government project, but it is not, unfortunately. I know sometime during the Obasanjo era, Dangote had wanted to buy over the moribund, Nigerian refineries. I think the Port Harcourt refinery and the Kaduna refinery, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. We would have been able to, would have gotten to where we are a lot faster. But it is private, and we will still reap the benefits. Nigerian government, NNPC has 20% of the Dangote refinery, if I recall correctly. And, so one of the important parts of the Dangote refinery was set up, to tackle, the local issues that we have, the local dependence on imported petroleum, and the chairman specifically said that this is going to reduce, it's going to take out the shame Nigeria has of being unable to refine its own products.
So I think that the direction of my question was actually around, is this the direction to go, privatize, having private refineries like this?
Yes and no, right? Yes, in a sense of businessmen and companies, privatization would make sure that those refineries work. No, in the sense of, because there's a lot of money that has coming from the private sector, right? There'll be loans, there'll be all sorts of interest, that a lot of private interests that, are in this refinery. So there is the potential of the businessman to always want to recoup, and the capitalism will come into play, so to say. So the Nigeria and Nigerians may not reap the benefits, as it were, because it will not make any economic sense if maybe neighboring countries were buying petroleum products at a much higher rate, and then we have our own, in Nigeria, our own prices are significantly lower. If it was government will ensure that, the local demand is most important. And on the, well, I mean, like I said, the government owns 20% of it. And the chairman of the Dangote group, he himself has, categorically said that one of the most important things is to be able to take care of local consumption. So definitely, I think it's a way to go. Nigerian government, until they prove themselves, until they prove capacity, we've seen that the government has been unable to manage refineries. So yeah, private sector should take over.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much for having me.